Today, we're going to explore a powerful financial tool that can help you build real wealth. Compound interest. Most people dream of owning their own home, not just for the security it provides, but also because it's a valuable asset. When you sell it, it can help boost your financial future. But owning a home is also one of the biggest expenses you'll face, and it often costs more than you might realize. Chances are, you don't have enough cash to buy a house outright, so you'll turn to a bank for a mortgage loan. This loan allows you to borrow the money to purchase a property, which you'll repay over time with interest. And here's where it gets interesting. Those interest rates are calculated using compound interest. Becoming wealthy isn't just about making more money, it's also about saving money. If you want to save thousands and maximize your investment potential, stay with me. In this video, we'll break down how compound interest works, how understanding it can help you pay off your mortgage faster, and even free up extra cash for future investments, like a second property you can rent out. All of this is part of a strategy to help you build long-term wealth. Let's jump in. Firstly, you need to understand how compound interest works. Here is the formula for a mortgage bond. The monthly payment for a mortgage can be calculated using the following formula. M is the monthly payment that you are trying to find out. P is the principal loan amount or the initial loan amount. R is the monthly interest rate. This is the annual interest rate divided by 12. N is the total number of payments or the loan term in months. You just plug in your unique values and there you go. Your monthly mortgage payment. We know that looks like a complex math formula, and it probably is for most people. Luckily, people like Albert Einstein could understand it. In fact, he was so impressed by compound interest that he had the following to say about it. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it. How could a mathematical formula compare with this beauty? At first, this quote might seem like a bit of an exaggeration, but the math behind it shows that it is not. Compound interest is truly a thing of beauty. But sadly, it's not something most schools or the financial industry teach in a straightforward way. Often, they make it seem more complicated than it really is, leaving the average person feeling lost. The good news is that today, we have tools that make these calculations simple and easy to understand. You don't need to be a financial expert to grasp how compound interest works, especially when it comes to mortgages. While there are plenty of tools and templates out there, I'll be showing you how to calculate it using good old Excel. And for those who use other platforms, Google Sheets has a similar option, and I'm pretty sure Apple does too. Let's break it down so it's easy to follow. Let's go ahead and open the free Microsoft Excel template. To find the template, just click on More Templates. Type amortization and the template should appear. Once you have downloaded it, you can just open it and start entering the values. I have highlighted the fields that you can edit in blue and the formulas that you shouldn't touch in gray. Also, for some reason, the formulas in the sheet stop at line 88. Just drag the formulas down to row 260 or more so that the main sheet updates correctly. Once that is done, you can enter the values of your specific scenario. For this exercise, I am using dollars, but feel free to use whatever currency you choose and also the amounts that relate to your personal circumstances. I am going to use the amount of $500,000 at an interest rate of 7%. The term will be 20 years, and we will generally make 12 payments a year as we will pay monthly. Also, remove the $100 from optional extra payments for now. Your monthly payment will be $3,876. That's affordable, right? But now step back and take a look at how much money you will be paying back. This is your first taste of what it's like to get screwed by compound interest. Remember, Einstein said, "He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it." $500,000 paid back over 20 years, and the minimum monthly payment means you would have paid back the loan as well as an additional $430,358. That comes to a total of a few thousand short of $1 million. That is a huge amount of money. Most people don't see the total amount they pay back. They just accept that every month the bond payment goes off their account and they can spend what's left. But that is why you are watching this video. You aren't just most people. You see the rat race for what it is and you want to understand it so that you can play by your own rules. So this is where it gets interesting. First, let's look at what the impact will be when interest rates come down. We know that in most first world countries, central banks like to use interest rates to control inflation. When inflation goes up, then interest rates go up. This is good for savers but bad for borrowers. When inflation comes down, often interest rates come down as well. So when they come down, the question to ask yourself is, do you really need those few extra $100? What happens when you leave the monthly payment the same, even if the interest rate comes down? So back to our scenario. You loaned $500,000 at 7%, but there was a 50 basis point or 0.5% reduction in the interest rate. The new interest rate is 6.5%, which changes the monthly amount to $3,728. But what if you decide to keep your payment at $3,876? Let's see how this impacts your mortgage. Remember, you are already used to paying the higher amount, so technically you should not feel any negative impacts in your budget. By keeping your payment the same, you're paying an extra $148.63. This small amount gets deducted from the principal amount and means that the bank can only charge you interest on the outstanding balance. The fact that the balance is slightly lower means the interest is also slightly lower. This compounding effect over time means that you pay the principal amount faster. In fact, you could pay off your mortgage several years earlier. The result is you have saved a ton in interest payments over the life of the loan. The best part is also that in some countries, if you speak to your bank, you should be able to convert the mortgage to an access mortgage. Some banks don't want you to know about this, but find out the facts yourself. The additional money you are saving up could be used for emergencies, if and when it is needed. If we just projected the 0.5% saving over the full term of the loan, the total amount that you would have saved directly is about $69,601. However, because you paid the loan back 17 months earlier, the actual saving that you made was about $132,974. That is effectively money put back into your pocket. Next up, let's explore how additional small monthly payments can dramatically reduce the duration of your loan. Let's say the interest rates don't change, but you have an extra $100 available that you can add to the payment. It may not seem like much, but let's see how it changes things. The net effect is that the $100 reduces the principal amount directly, and this small increase can cut years off your mortgage term. That $100 can save you several $1,000s in interest and bring you closer to owning your home outright. In fact, as we can see, the total amount of interest over the period is now only $404,017. This is the power of compound interest at work. Even small, consistent extra payments can add up significantly over time. If we just projected the $100 saving over the full term of the loan, the total amount that you would have saved directly is about $26,342. However, because you paid the loan back 12 months earlier, the actual saving that you made was about $92,242. More money put back into your pocket. Now, let's talk about one-time payments, like a bonus you might receive at work. Imagine you get a $3,000 bonus and decide to put it toward your mortgage. What impact does that have? Let's see. Scroll down to the sheet calculations and add the additional $3,000 payment in month 12, month 24, month 36, month 48, and month 60. That's 5 bonuses you have sacrificed. But by applying that $3,000 bonus directly to the principal, you not only reduce the principal balance immediately but also lower your monthly payments and interest over the life of the loan. This can significantly shorten the loan term and save you even more on interest. If we just projected the additional $15,000 you paid over the full term of the loan, the total amount that you would have saved directly is about $32,764. However, because you also paid the loan back 12 months earlier, the actual saving that you made was about $79,282. Again, more money put back into your pocket. Finally, let's discuss the impact of trying to negotiate a lower interest rate. Imagine you successfully negotiate your rate down from 7% to 6.5% as we highlighted in the first scenario. You have nothing to lose by asking. If you have a good credit record, tertiary qualification, or a large deposit, some banks might be willing to give you a preferred rate. Now what happens if we do all of the items we discussed? Keep the monthly payment the same as it was before the interest rate came down. Pay the additional $100 on top of that, and make those 5 bonus payments as well over 5 years. If you do all of that, you will directly save a whopping $112,103. You would have also paid the loan off in just under 17 years. Now you have a house that is paid for and a monthly amount of $3,876 that you can use to purchase another investment property. That payment plus the rental income from the tenants means you can pay off a $500,000 property in just over 7 years. Now that you know how to use the amortization template, why don't you play around with a few futuristic scenarios? Remember, true wealth needs a plan and is often created over years. To wrap things up, remember that compound interest is your friend when it comes to mortgages. By keeping your payments consistent, making additional payments, applying one-time bonuses, and negotiating lower interest rates, you can pay off your mortgage sooner and create extra cash flow for future investments. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips. Share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. Until next time, keep investing in your financial future.